Like, who does this? Who absolutely keeps their own child in a box for this long and never talk about it?
Adam Smith tells me the shock hasn't worn off.
He was like, just think about that, Adam. Your whole life, you've been eating food out of there, and there's been, I would assume, my frozen sister.
After he discovered a frozen baby bundled in a pink blanket in this box in their family freezer.
I went in there to get a frozen water.
This discovery happened after Smith was having a conversation about what was inside the mysterious box with a family member. He says he was discussing what to do with his mother's items. She passed away a week ago from cancer.
This box has been in every freezer we have lived, or every freezer in every home that we have lived in my entire life.
He says when his mother, Barbara, was alive, she never wanted to talk about what was in that box. He says he always wondered, but never thought he'd make such a bizarre discovery.
I grabbed the leg and I pulled it up, and it sort of like unraveled, and I could see the baby's head with hair.
Smith says he immediately called police and spoke with detectives.
The head homicide guy was stumped. He literally looked at me and said, "This is a good one."
And while police investigate, Smith says he's searching for answers.
And I cannot help it to think she might have done something to it. I may never get any closure because my mom's gone.
Now to an interview you saw first on 5. A St. Louis man who made a disturbing discovery inside of his mother's apartment.
He says while cleaning out his mom's home just days after she died, he found something truly heartbreaking inside her freezer. A dead baby wrapped in a blanket. Our Justina Cornell is live tonight outside that apartment. Justina, what can you tell us?
Adam Smith says that his mom lived in this apartment for years, and recently he moved in to help her when she got sick. About a week ago, she passed away, and that's when he started going through her things. But during that time, he came across something that he didn't want to find.
So I was just blown away.
There's a lot on Adam Smith's plate right now. He's not only packing up his life, he's also dealing with the death of his mom, Barbara.
Diagnosed with small cell lung cancer.
Smith recently moved into her South St. Louis apartment to help her while she was sick. And after she passed away last week, Smith started rummaging through her stuff.
I was trying to figure out what I'm going to take and what I'm not.
As he was shuffling through the freezer to see what to keep or toss, he saw a box.
I'm 37, and it has been in my freezer for 37 years. And I was always told it was like a wedding cake top.
His curiosity took over. Smith thought in that box there could be that wedding cake top, or there could even be money.
I pulled it out and I set it directly right here. I grabbed this knife exactly right here, and I just cut through the plastic and opened it up.
But what his eyes saw was something he was not expecting.
And it turns out it was a baby.
The frozen baby was wrapped in a pink fleece.
It still had skin, hair, and everything. It was mummified. After that, I just freaked out. I put it back into the box, and I called police right away.
Smith tells us that he never thought to look in that box before.
I've asked her several times. It was either a no-no conversation, she blew me off. My mom has always been so secretive about things throughout life.
Smith started to realize that his mom mentioned before about a sibling passing away before he was born.
We're saying, 46, 47? That's how long, I assume it's my sister, has been in a box in a freezer for this long.
A shaken-up Smith is disturbed after unveiling a chilling secret that's been tucked away for years.
Finding this, I'm more like confused, angry, and I just want to find closure. I want to know more answers.
But Smith isn't the only one asking for answers. Police say this is an active investigation, so if you have any information, contact the Homicide Division or Crime Stoppers.
Shocking discovery inside the freezer of an apartment in South St. Louis. The body of an infant was found by a man who was living there. He says the box was in his family freezer for decades. Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal is live outside the building where that discovery was made. Jeff.
Yeah, so sad, John. We're on the 6,000 block of Magnolia. The man who was here was caring for his ailing mother inside an apartment here. Tonight, he says he is an emotional wreck with so many questions running through his mind. Adam Smith had been living in this apartment taking care of his mother, who passed away from cancer just days ago. He showed us a photograph of a wrapped box that was in his freezer. He said his mother kept it inside their freezer for decades and told him to stay away from it. He opened it after she passed away.
There was a pink blanket, baby blanket, and when I reached down and touched it, and I could feel a foot, and I could see the baby's head with hair. Hair was still attached to it, smooth.
Police responded to the building early Sunday morning. They called the death suspicious. Smith told them, as strange as it sounds, he never looked inside that wrapped box, thinking it was a frozen wedding cake. He says it was a shock to him when he discovered the baby.
Who absolutely keeps their own child in a box for this long and never talk about it and never... I just have so many thoughts, and it's just insane.
He's distraught thinking about the possibility that that child may have been his sister and what his mother may have done.
I have to wait for the autopsy to see if that baby ever took a breath. And I cannot help it to think she might have done something to it. I just can't help it.
He wonders if he'll ever know the truth now that his mother is gone.
It's tragic. I mean, this gentleman just recently lost his mother, and to add that to it, I mean, my heart goes out to him. I just hope he gets some answers.
I wanted some kind of closure, and I feel like I may never get any closure because my mom's gone.
Smith says as a child, he remembers his mother once speaking about losing a child at birth, and says only recently a relative told him that his mother once gave birth to twins, giving one up for adoption and losing one at birth.
Continues following the story, now making headlines across the country and around the world. The discovery of a dead baby in a South City freezer got a lot of people reacting. The man who found the baby after his mother's death said he remembered the box the baby was in that freezer for decades. Today, St. Louis police returned to that man's home. The whole story started on Magnolia, just off Hampton and I-44. News 4's Emily Pritchard has been following that story. And Emily, that man is...
That is right, Courtney. Adam Smith says he has to be moved out of that apartment by tonight before the 1st. In the meantime, he is waiting for answers from police after opening that mystery box Saturday night.
She's always had a secret of life, and that's another thing that's getting to me.
Adam Smith says he still can't believe what he found inside his mother's freezer after her death on July 21st.
I wake up thinking about it, I go to sleep thinking about it.
An infant in a pink blanket. The news has spread worldwide.
One of my friends said it was on the news in Australia.
Today, News 4 saw officers leave the apartment. Smith told me an investigator wanted to come by for a final walkthrough before he moved out.
All I can say is, I mean, that box has been there my whole life, and 37 years is a long time.
Smith says his mother, Barbara, died of cancer days before the discovery. This GoFundMe page was created on the 21st, saying she was diagnosed in January. Typing, "This weekend, she has taken a turn for the worse and is now on life support." It was updated saying Barbara Smith passed peacefully in her sleep.
I mean, she was born and raised in Florissant, North County.
Adam says his mom worked as a mail carrier and in restaurants in the St. Louis area before he was born.
She always told me she had to quit working to take care of me because she didn't have anybody else.
As Smith moves out of the apartment that now just reminds him of what he found, he's also trying to find a home for his mom's 2 cats.
That would be the biggest relief in the world right now if I could find them a home today. It's my last days.
I have been told those cats are being neutered by a Sunset Hills vet and need to be adopted by tomorrow. As for that investigation, both St. Louis police and the medical examiner's office told me this is an active investigation.